So anyway, Cam, again, apologize again for that, and also too for all those who are tuning back in here again. Sorry for the delay, but again, appreciate everybody tuning back in with us again. We got here with us again, once again here with former NC State men's basketball player Cam Bennerman. Once again, played from 2002, 2006 under NC State legend Herb Sendek, obviously, and in game 14 Alpha says, and we're back. Yep, we're back. We're back live again. I think we got the audio issues figured out now. But anyway, Cam. So again, jumping back in here. So if you don't mind, again, basically, we were starting to kind of talk about obviously your brand with the AOTG. We were talking about beforehand, and I know that you were already kind of in the middle of it. But if you wouldn't mind, Cam, just for those that were listening and that unfortunately couldn't hear the part that you were saying, if you wouldn't mind kind of starting again to kind of talking, giving a little bit of background about your AOTG brand, and we'll start rolling back in here again.
Man, look, I could talk about this all day, so no problem. And here lately, I've been talking about it all day, every day. But again, so AOTG is just a shorter way of saying architects of the game. When we talk about architects of the game, it's really paying homage to the people in college basketball, in this instance, the programs that not just won, but set some kind of level, establish some kind of something special, and then taking it a step further. Talk about this, we talk about the ladder. NC State fans, we know who brought the ladder into college basketball. We know what it means to climb this ladder. That's the goal, is to climb the ladder. Mm-hmm. Let's hop out of the basketball context. Let's talk about just everyday people. Climb the ladder. Right. The ladder is our logo. Everything's secure, everything's trademarked. And you can go to our pages. It's up. It's not just a double bar A. What makes it specific to NC State is the fact that we have 2 championships. It's 2 steps. It's 2 bars. So that's what makes it special to us. But what makes it special to all of us is the fact that I would hope that we're trying to climb the ladder in our lives and aspire to be better people. So this is what the brand's about. As we talk about basketball at NC State, and other programs, because what happens is, I remember, as you can see, I got this, I'm very creative. I'm very, colorful when it comes down to stuff like this. I have a very clear vision about stuff. I remember seeing, just these juggernaut giants of, these Kentuckys and Kansases and NC State. You see this stuff, but you don't really understand it. And then, thank God we have Tim Pillar. I think we're not, man, we got to get this guy his flowers, man, while he's here, because I think when it's all said and done, we're gonna regret not cherishing his information and his research a little bit more, because, like I said, he's just really put things in context with me. So anyway, it comes down to these Avenger programs. We have awesome Avengers, like everybody comes together. Everybody's off doing their own things, but there's this unified cause that just keeps requiring them to come together, at least for this moment in time, to fight the good fight. And this good fight is something that I feel like we've kind of carved out and articulated with the architects of the game. Paying homage to the honor and the legacy and tradition of being a champion and winning. We're talking about UCLA, Kentucky, Kansas, Duke, Carolina, State, Indiana. These 7 programs, I've heard back from 3. The conversation with the Wolfpack didn't go as well as I wanted it to. I think we both were irritated, about the topic. But now I think now we kind of understand some things about each other, and I hope we can further discuss, because I've been discussing, talking, and having open dialogues with some of the college basketball's elite programs, and they've been open with me about what they're nervous about, about what has made them successful, and they've shared this information with me without having to over explain or over articulate anything that I'm trying to do, besides learn, besides help. Um, and this brand, while I'm spearheading it, this is our brand. I want fans and I want the university and the school to understand that no matter who the coach is, no matter the roster, it's important that we have something that's ours, and that's something that's from within. We can do whatever we want to do. But it really frustrates me when I actually take the time to get involved as an alumni who's graduated, who is in the trophy room, who can can toot his own horn a little bit in this context. And then I can call a Coach Yanni. I can call guys from the Banner area. I can call people, and it's like we all agree on something, but nobody has really had the plan or the time of day, as it seems, to want to even go about solving it. And then once one of us tries, we get slapped on the wrist. We get asked why you're here. Chucky Brown has to get asked why he's eating in this place. Where's your media pass? What do you mean? Where is his media pass? What are you talking about? Why does Chucky Brown need a media pass to go in NC State basketball context? I get a lot of this craziness stuff. Excuse me, not craziness, but I say craziness because it's considered crazy when you're passionate about something nowadays. You see,
right.
crazy. So be it. I know what I'm trying to do. I know what I'm doing. I know where to stand, and I know where it's going to end, where it's going to be reciprocated. If David Thompson's riding down the street, and him and his wife hears that there's a game in Raleigh, and they decide to just pull up, are they getting in? I'm like, if you ask me, hell yeah, we doing it like high school, man. Just come on in. Like, who needs a seat? Like, just come in. Like, I just put that out there to the fans, and a lot of people chimed in. I guarantee you, if Patrick Ewing has to encounter at Madison Square Garden I think it's either the game, either a tournament or after the game, but it bothers me like when people have to like experience this friction due to the fact that you're not honoring the tradition and the legacy of greatness. You need to be educated. There needs to be something in place that is educating the players, that's educating people that has to come in on why you ought to give a shit. Yeah, you can have your plan agenda, but it has to meet our criteria. It can be a constituency group. It could be however creative you want to be about it, but it needs to be something. And that's what I've been encouraging our staff, not our staff, athletics especially. I've been encouraging them to try to understand this conversation and then understand how it can be reciprocated. So in essence, this is what this brand is about. And we're having the same conversation with these elite universities. It's been getting this far. We've been getting everywhere we've been wanting to on the floor to get our shot off. We're shooting a high percentage. I want to work with our university and our alma mater and making sure we can incorporate this plan and more creators like yourself. And just like there's a lot of us around here that if we can just get all in the same room on the same agenda and really like carve out something unique, man, it'll be something special that can work in wonders in many different ways for the academia and for the athletics and everybody involved. So that's what the brand's about. Architects of the game. It focuses on brands.
Yeah. Well, and obviously too, I think that this is something even too that us that sometimes maybe not necessarily diehard State fans, but maybe a good thing to kind of remind State fans, but also too even specifically the players from time to time is at the end of the day, I mean, in my biased opinion, NC State has some of the greatest traditions in college basketball. Obviously, with being the first to cut down the nets, with having I wouldn't say arguably, I would say the greatest basketball player to ever play in the ACC, and David Thompson. Then, obviously with
The greatest the greatest college basketball player, and I find it disrespectful. Remember a few years ago, Slam came out with like the top 50 or something. Tom David wasn't even on the cover.
whew,
Yeah.
get out of here.
As I'm saying, like, we need to start holding like cats accountable, man. Like, because what happens is over time that leg it gets lost, and then it's a rewriting of.
Right.
And as a former alum and all that, I can't. How can I not say something, and not just say something, but actually provide a solution to the problem? And how can you not care?
Right.
How dare you not care?
Yeah.
Not you, but whoever.
Right.
So that's what I'm coming from. Right.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So yeah, and you, because one thing too, and let me ask you about this too, Cam. But obviously in today's world, where it seems like a lot of college basketball players, obviously their biggest focus is getting to the NBA, playing at the next level, and some might view as, especially too with like the new NIL, rules and stuff like that. Now there's these ways to basically work around having to go to college even. Do you see maybe that there's almost this sense of that, maybe in college basketball overall, that there seems to be kind of this loss of kind of respecting and appreciating playing, for your college, playing for, the name on the front, not on the back kind of deal?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think out of 4 years, I might have had my name on the back of my jersey one of those years, maybe 2. So we definitely lived by that whole front thing, and a few other programs that really Indiana did. There's a few other ones that do it even now. Mm-hmm. The truth of the matter is, guys, it goes back to that ladder analogy, that ladder logo that we have with Architects of the Game. It should be about building. Okay. Burn all bridges. Fuck all bridges. Okay. Any kind. What's a bridge? It's a connector.
Yeah.
Transportation, information, whatever. But the problem is it's on the same level. Fuck bridges. We need ladders. We need the same connect. Excuse me, guys. Also, I'm just being me.
I got you.
But we need connectors and transportation in conversation and interaction to a higher level.
Right.
The ladder, the ladder, and whatever it did when he brought it down, and what it meant to college basketball is what it means to the brand. Is what it means. It should mean in our lives when it comes down to that stuff. So what it boils down to is building solid, stable ladders of the future. That's what it should be about in college. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, you can make, and I know this for a fact because I done talked to the programs and they told me their guys are making buttloads of money right now. I guarantee you. Look, the plan I got, our guys will be making a buttload of money right now. Guarantee. Because it's coming. I already know what's up. This is the way that we can really do something special for everybody else is taking this approach that I'm suggesting. I'm telling them. And they don't want it, our people don't want to admit it. So it should be about building stable ladders of the future. That's what it should be about. Not everybody's going to be the next KD, LeBron, this and that. And you know what else, guys? There's too many guys that's coming out each year. We don't have the infrastructure in America in professional basketball to deal with this. We got a lot of talent here in the country that needs jobs that can play. We don't have any infrastructure or programming that knows what to do. The plan, the ABA, this and that. It shouldn't be a quality loss. It shouldn't be frowned upon because you're not in the NBA in America. And then you go over there, you got 5 or 6 levels.
Right.
But you're getting paid. It makes for a cool picture. But again, it's why do we got to keep losing talent and people just because we lack creativity? Building stable ladders of the future. That's what it needs to be about in college sports. That's what we're suggesting with Architects of the Game, because if we can slow it down, if we can Cam Hayes is somebody. I want to come on. I'm like a vampire to that guy. I want to bite the guy in the neck. I want. I know what to do with the guy. He's like a prime guy. Of course, we got C. Brown and TQ, but we'll talk about somebody who is on a little different kind of pace, different kind of path, you know.
Right.
And down a little bit, and really try to encourage coming to NC State and wanting to stay here and finding value and having what it takes to keep them here and for them to find value. I talk about this with the Black Alumni Society. We had the same conversations and how we can do this.
Yep.
And really like embarking upon, really the time is now. We got the ideas and the know-how and how to do this. To answer your question, it should be about creating those stable ladders for the future. It shouldn't be that one and done thing. It's a toughie, especially for us. We got some hot tamales. We should get them there. But I think that like a more stable, safer approach needs to be like that. Like really like focusing on just building the best overall product we can and trusting that when they leave NC State, that we surrounded them with everything they need to succeed in whatever direction they want to go in. Yeah. I've had Levi Watkins, for example, he had an ACL tear midway through his process at State. Mm-hmm. And I can take the change in his heart that basketball was no longer it. Coach kept him on scholarship. I remember got a great memory. Kept on scholarship. He peaked game. He learned. He was a happier player also when that happened. He had a weight off him because he committed to, even though we didn't know. Man, he got out of school. He did GA stuff. He got involved with Coach. Man, leave out the. He's assistant at Ole Miss right now, doing a job. You know, so things happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Still,
well,
I think that's a matter.
What?
But again, I'm having conversations. It don't really matter to people because there's no initiative. There's no actions being done. I see the press release, see the video. Nothing's being done. I'm trying to tell you guys, we need to start. We need more action. We need more proactivity.
Yep.
Well,
because two things, for example, that really, stand out to me as examples is, like watching the Survive Advanced documentary. One thing that really stood out to me was when they were interviewing Ralph Sampson, and he was talking about like heading into the 82-83 season, how he was looking at, whether he should go to the pros or go back to Virginia. And he just kept saying that, after talking to his family and all that how much he valued school, that, it just he just kept telling himself, I need to go back to school. And I'm like, so literally one of the greatest, centers in ACC basketball at his time could have easily been a number 1, number 2 draft pick, still said, I'm going to go back to school. It's just like, again, and like even like Michael Jordan, again, who ended up being one of the greatest NBA players of all time. I mean, he stayed at school for Carolina, but because also too, not only did it help them out, I think in the long term, but also too, it made college basketball that much more interesting. The competition was so much more fierce than it is in today's day and age. Because again, I mean, people are just. It's a bunch of young players, and
mm-hmm.
I think that like. If there's one thing that I can use as an example, it's when Duke had, I think in 2017, I think it was when they had Zion Williamson, R.J. Barrett, Cam Reddish, all those guys. They had the most talented team, arguably in the modern era of college basketball. I mean, you cannot put a more talented group of players together, and they still couldn't win a national championship together. So that just proves to you that and I'm sorry, I know I just saw a spit going across the room there, but it just proves that talent is not everything. That is not what it takes to win it all. Because they also had arguably one of the greatest college basketball coaches of all time, and that still couldn't get it done either. It's that there has to be an experience edge to it. So that really tells me that if you want to win championships, you have to stay. You have to develop. You have to let the coach mold. You have to give time to fit the system. And so that's the thing that just.
But you know what, man?
Go for it.
I hate to interrupt, but I'm thinking about I'm going back into my files.
Go for it.
And if Tim Pillar was here, he would rip you apart right now.
Really?
Because the truth of the matter is this. Dean, it took 30 years before he won one, I believe.
Yeah, it took him a while.
It took Coach K 10. How many years did it take Jimmy Vinny?
Yeah, I mean, it took him what?
Do you know what kind of pressure that man put in the triangle on people. He came in with a purpose. You know, he raised the bar. Is what I'm trying to say. He's like. It's very rare when that happens. Like it's how it's done. Of course, we got the Baylor, and I love the Baylor story because I have a friend who was actually on staff there, and we talk about it all the time. I got a picture of the ring because Baylor was so thoughtful when they won the championship. They sent my friend a ring. He ain't been on staff in God knows about 5 years. They sent him a ring. They didn't have to do it.
I love it.
That thing is huge. It's so big you don't even want to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And seriously, I got pictures up maybe on my page, but I'll post them after this. I mean, it's huge.
Yeah.
But Coach Drew, we're talking 18 years.
Yeah.
A faithful man. A true architect of the game and getting in the program who was also going through some issues too. They was going through some stuff. Some players that was going through some stuff. And he got in there, and he got in there with an athletic staff or whatever who believe everybody's on board. You got to believe. Look at the picture that we posted on ALT. You got to dream. Huh. Wait till our next post. It's going to mess you up. Oh, my God. Man, listen, we got the whole thing ready, guys. And it really highlights where we should be, at least with our energy, and where we are now with this next post. It's a disconnect. We're here to kind of establish that connection, at least with the Wolfpack group. But anyway, I kind of got all over the place, guys. But what I'm saying is each championship means something, and that's one thing I told the guys in our meeting. Each championship means something. The reason why we haven't won one is because we don't deserve to win one. What are we doing? Like, what's our story? You know, like I said, like the 74 team is straight power.
Right.
Powerhouse, man. Like I'm telling you, built for war. 83 wasn't supposed to happen.
No.
Jimmy B was sick. It was a bunch of stuff going on. Wasn't supposed. Do you believe? Are you a dreamer? Are you willing to accept the challenge?
Mm-hmm.
This is what it comes down to, I think. And every championship means something. Everyone means something.
Right.
Yeah. No. Well,
took you on a roller coaster there. Sorry about that.
No, Cam. Again,
it's great.
It's a conversation which again is needed to be had, and it is something which I think that especially with all these guys. Again, at the end of the day, the more that the players buy in, the more that it benefits even the fans, but also to the team and the school. It's a win-win situation for all of us. So when that happens, go ahead, Michael.
And I mean, I know there's obviously issues and things will get worked out in one way or the other with NIL and all the deals and stuff. But that's a great way to encourage players to, buy in for the school, instead of just jumping to the NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just think that starting the professional journey is one way of going about it. But just like jumping into this whole NBA, because for me, man, it was all coming from Greensboro. Like this place, I'm in Greensboro right now. I've had so many people say, dude, where are you? I'm in Greensboro right now. I create the world I want around me. I'm inspired, and I always wanted different around me. I always wanted different. I want to experience different. And for me to do that, I had to get up out of here. And my way of getting up out of here is that ball there, and how I go about it, and my experience with it. Now, basketball grants you that experience, or whatever you do grants you that experience. Now, what's your perspective on that experience? How are you interpreting this perspective? Are you taking this for granted? Have you been coddled your whole damn life, and now you're here in school and you think it's supposed to keep going like that? Okay, great. Let's say it goes another 4 years like that. Now you got to get up out of school. Now it's really on you.
Yeah.
Have we really built a stable ladder of the future in you, or is that ladder just bound to crumble?
Yep.
and then we just make you that, but it's all on you.
Right.
Nobody takes responsibility in the product. No, unless you're Phillip Rivers.
One exception.
Unless you're David. Okay, boom. And for the people who want to act crazy, unless you're David Thompson, it don't matter what. It's keeping those safe people around us, those symbols of success. But hold on, do you know what they went through to go? Oh my God, David Thompson. Do we want to know what that man went through?
Go for it.
I want to know.
Okay.
I want to know how to be at.
I was gonna say, I was like, if you know, I want to hear it.
Yeah.
The video that we posted most recently on Architects of the Game on our page, it really highlighted two of basketball's most dominant players and showing that they too would have chosen NC State. The reason why people made decisions especially college decisions, Jordan was coming. That era, that Wilmington boy, he was coming to stay.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that, yes, it was something that Dean, and that's the magic of Dean, something that he promised all of his players, something that he got them to believe in until his dying day. And that's the mark of a truly a special person. And I think he left them all $100 when he left, something like that. They'll get something to eat on them. I mean, just that, like these thoughtful measures that people go to show their appreciation for your commitment.
Yeah.
And that's where we failed as NC State basketball. That's where we failed. Yeah. I can't talk about swimming. Can't talk about soccer. Can't talk about the women's team. Can't talk about wrestling. Can't talk about the cheerleaders. Can't talk about football. And we look at really can't talk about the academia. I got invited to a cocktail over the homecoming event. There's only two of us in there. When I say us, I'm talking about Pac-Man's players. That's me and Ralston Turner. And that was very interesting to me. Not from the obvious, the black guy, no, idiot. Not from that angle. I'm just talking about just having some Pac-Man's players in the room. Yeah, man. Yeah. I know that things are being done differently at other places. And I just want answers as to why it doesn't matter to us as much. And to the people who got to make the decisions. That's all I want to know. Mm-hmm. And we have a big reason. This is the thing, guys. We have a big opportunity coming up with the celebrations of our 74 and 83 teams. We got these after this season. I think we got the next two seasons.
Yep.
Got a big opportunity to do something special for the players, for the fans, for the university, for the program. We have an insane opportunity. We got the plan. I got it on that phone. I got it, guys. Cam got it. No, listen. I don't know why it happened like this, but we got it. We don't need to work with anybody else on telling our story. We don't need to work with anybody else on monetizing our brand. We don't need to work with anybody else on supplying our fans with what they need to feel a part of what's going on, for them to have a voice. For them. That's why I do so much engaging on Twitter. I feel like I'm talking too much, guys, but I'm just a bleeding out right now.
I love it.
That's why I talk so much on Twitter with the fans, because all they want is engagement.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
I want to be heard and be heard by somebody who knows. And I love this open dialogue. Yeah. I wish I could have more fans. As long as people keep it respectful. That's always a gamble. But it's for us to get things back on track. People like yourself, I know you guys care. We need more of this, more open engagement.
Yep.
And more responsibility. And I want to be on Scott Wood's show. Why ain't Scott Wood asked me to be on his show? Ben McCauley, Ben's my teammate. Ben ain't got nothing to say. What you got Ben on board? Like I said, everybody looking all old. And man, listen, get me on the show, Scott. Let's talk about something. Let's get your opinion about how you feel based on your experience as a state. You came in here as a nobody and you left as somebody. You got in the book. You got a true testimony, Scott. I care to know. I want to know. The brand wants to know. Let's put this in a way that's informative, that's motivational, that's educational, inspirational for the players now, for the future. Let's get you involved. How you guys feel about it, Coach? How you guys? Okay, let's put together something.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
Yep.
wants to do it.
Hey, Cam, I
It's
love
like,
it. I love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and again,
I'm sorry, I calmed down.
no, again, Cam. Well, because like one thing too, and I do truly think that we need more of this is like, one of the things I loved seeing. I can't remember if it was before basketball season started, but it was early in basketball season. Was when Derek Whittenberg went and talked with the team. And again, it's just because that's one of the things I love, about Derek Wittenberg is that, first of all, he's still so involved with the university, obviously working for the university as well. But, even still, again, he just loves sharing his story. And because, again, I think it's truly one that not just our team, not just future teams, but first of all, everybody should hear, everybody should hear from Derek Wittenberg on his story of his times and his, because one thing that a lot of people may not remember as well is, again, I mean, all these guys weren't freshmen. The Sidney Lowe's, Derek Wittenbergs, they weren't freshmen, when they won in '83. I mean, it took them a couple years to build, and to grow. And so, again, I completely agree, and I do think that, and I think hands full, heart full said that we need to do a better job of celebrating our former players, but also too, because by celebrating them, also playing for them. Again, at the end of the day, like players like yourself, you buy into how the team plays in today, if they do a bad job, I know it makes you upset. If they do a great job, if they win a championship, it's going to make you just as happy as if you won it yourself. You know what I mean? Again, your heart is still fully into it, and it's kind of talking about, today's team as well. Like you mentioned, like Cam Hayes as well. First of all, I actually saw you sent me a tweet about how Darian Sebron is a part of the brand now. Was I reading that correctly, Cam?
Of course, he's a part of the brand. He's a part of the pack. All pack players will be a part of the brand. You know, like I said, we're not trying to intercept. That's what I want the school and the program to know. We're not trying to intercept. I'm a former player. I mean, so I just chose a picture that matched an emotion that I was feeling. I'm not thinking, guys. I'm feeling them. It's how I feel.
Right.
The brand. It says we're using a different criteria. We're how we making decisions, and I saw that, and it's important. And this is a new campaign we're starting. It's important to dream. And I really, and I'm trying to encourage our fans to, and it's kind of tough when I say it, but we gotta stop focusing. And I told the higher ups this also. We gotta stop focusing on the win-loss column because we have too many other issues that affects that column. Right. That you just can't get on Twitter and write characters that can like affect it or touch on it. Like it's just like I read our fans' tweets. Okay, yes, we just got over the NCAA. Out of my most recent conversations, I'm a firm believer. While it probably took a lot of our attention, that area still isn't why we're behind that. Why we're behind. We fell asleep at the wheel. We fell asleep at the wheel in two main areas that I'm not going to talk about right now because it's business. I'm not here to give all this stuff away. But I do want to have another conversation with our higher ups and just try to revisit some things that I've learned here recently, that if we can kind of get more juice out of these two areas, it can turn it around. Okay. I want to revisit something that you said about our greats with Wittenberg and Witt can come at me if he wants. I know he's an outspoken guy, so am I.
Yeah.
My issue with Witt is it begins and it ends with him. And it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't feel that way. I got everybody in the group text from Nate McMillan to Gugliotta to Bailey to I got everybody, Benny, got everybody. I would expect Chucky. Love that guy, man. Chucky Brown.
Yeah.
I would expect a more receptive energy from Whit whenever I do write him and send him updates on what's going on. That involves him. I don't get that energy. You know, I get an energy like stay away. And it's like my thing is this. With all I'm asking is this. I'm all about the future and building ladders of the future. If you want to go there, all I'm asking is, since that championship, where did you take it? Where did you take whatever it was that you was doing? Whatever it was that you was preaching, whatever it is that you're about. What are you doing with that? The first time I met him was at the Taco Bell on Western. He had both his rings on. And had his McDonald's and the championship ring. Now, it says a lot about man walking around with the rings on. I got 4 rings myself. I may put one on every now and then. I may put one on, but man, I'm just saying, guys, like, it means something. Everything means something. Ain't no rewind pause button on this thing. So I'm looking at it, and he actually hit me with a good conversation. This is when Godfrey was around. Mm-hmm. And he was like, Cam, I'm telling you, identity. Man, when I played, we wasn't the best. And he was right. It goes back to like that talent thing. You don't have to be the best to win. It's a matter of having identity. So this is Wittenberg, talking great. Identity, having something to hang your hat on, that defense, this and that. My mom. I said, yeah, I'm like, this dude with us off the chain. But since then, I just want to ask, like, what initiatives are you pushing for anything? Are you pushing for any initiatives? Are you pushing for any anything that's bigger than just Whitcomb came in, he's talking about that moment and that's it? Then Ernie Myers. Now these are the only 2 guys that I know of that's around, but they are around, but they ain't involved. And they're not involved because they don't want to be. I'm talking about, like, I have an idea on how I would involve those 2 brothers, even right now. But Ernie, I know he has a testimony. I know he felt marginalized when he was a state. I know he felt that way. And why he posts stuff and go back to the Pac-Man's page. Go back and look at it. You're gonna see a picture like he was standing beside the monitor with Kenny Smith talking like, we don't need a Tar Heels confirmation about your greatness, Ernie. Mm-hmm. Even when he posted something on his Facebook, it's a picture with Jordan in it, and Ernie ain't even doing it. He's just in the frame. He ain't even got nothing to do with the play. But we don't need nobody else's confirmation or validation on who we are as a program, and we should not. Lorenzo Charles should not have died at the wheel. No disrespect to bus drivers. No disrespect. But our Lorenzo Charles, the man who saved us in '83, we ought to save him. He shouldn't be going to sleep at the wheel trying to return a bus. You know what I'm saying? He should be on staff somewhere. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to say. It gets deep if you want to talk about it. If you want to talk about how we can all affect that win column, that win-loss column. It's a deep conversation, and it's the same. But my thing is, I've talked with college basketball's elite. I know that they got this kind of mentality. I know that. Why did we fall asleep at the wheel? And when are we going to wake up? Yeah. That's that.
And Cam, let me ask you this too, because I think I get what you're saying for sure in terms of with Lorenzo Charles and the fact that he should not have been behind a school bus or a city bus, as a bus driver. He should have been out there. He should have been out there in a place where he could really make an impact, because then his name and his legacy is established. Period. And there's nobody else that has to tell him otherwise. At the end of the day, it's known throughout the country, what he did, not just for NC State, but just what he did himself. You know what I mean? So, so I mean, let me ask you this. I mean, I know you kind of said like, if you, had a chance that you would have a plan of a way for Ernie and Derek Winberg to maybe make more effectiveness of themselves. I mean, can you share a little bit about that? I mean, like what would you want them to do? Like, if you could talk to them right now and change today, what would you want them to do?
Well, in all honesty, I would first have an open dialogue and a conversation on what they would want.
Okay, I love it.
I think, yeah. So that's, we keep trying to. First of all, I want God's will to be done.
Amen.
In everything I do.
Amen.
Seriously, and I don't mean like trying, and I appreciate that. I ain't even trying to like go there, but I'm serious. Like, whatever's going on, let His will be done. So, to answer your question though, Ernie's he's commentating the women's game. What's that about? Like, I don't know. Like, and then like Annabelle, Miss Myers, she's like low key the queen of athletics, the Wicked Witch of the West, with her attitude. And I mean it because she's not she doesn't have the right outlook on her role and what can be going on. She's the husband of one of our greats. You should be pushing for certain things to happen. So with husband, with father, with kids, with mother. I feel like these things should matter. I just want, just for the sake of the conversation, I want just our greats to be just better valued and implemented in ways that they naturally already possess.
Yeah.
I bought a Julius, and I hit the nail so perfect on the head. He gave me a call like the next week. Yo, we don't call each other unless we like got something to talk about. Me and Jules. Hey, Cam, man, I appreciate everything you're doing, man. And, I get it, man. I mean, but me coaching the state ain't really, a reality. You know what I'm saying? And I'm where I'm at. I'm doing what I'm doing. I got a good projectile and we're not trying to have other people's jobs and security be at risk. And, we're not trying to. I said, Jules, I get it. I didn't say hire Jules. I was telling fans they want to know how our alumni can equate to wins, to register data in the win-loss column. Julius Hobbs, player of the year, NBA guy, give him a job as the recruiter at NC State men's basketball.
Yeah, I mean, that would help.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, why do we keep letting our guys just feel like they don't mean anything? If I call Kenny Ears right now, take the podcast over. And you shouldn't call him and get him riled up now. It ain't a shit talking guy. But I'm just saying, he's right there in Wake Forest. He got stuff going on. This is Kenny, but he's like, Cam, nobody cares. Like, I ain't got no support. I'm not looking for it, but I ain't got not 1 ounce of support from anybody. I called Coach Sendek. Me and Coach Sendek talked for a half hour. Man, I rallied the troops, man, to know that all it takes, guys, is. He told me this. He said that up until his arrival, they never honored jerseys. It was just David Thompson and that's it. He said, up until his arrival, he got them to honor the elite players that put it down from season to season. And that's why we have multiple. We got with TJ and Jules and Goose. So that was Coach Sendek's idea to do that. And I can only imagine that. And that was a good idea, but that ain't even really like a well thought out idea because hell, we've all like there's plenty of players that done something special to be remembered by. Should their jerseys be out there? Hell no. Like it needs to be like a better criteria than that.
Yep.
But at least he did something. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, and again, because I do want to kind of amplify a little bit that again, you're not saying that again that we should say like hire like as a head coach like Julius Hodge or like have assistant coach necessarily like Derek Workberger. I mean, at one point we did have Sidney Lowe, so I mean, that maybe was part of it.
Sidney was the right direction, but I had teammates that I played with that was also on that team. So they had a contrast that put Sendek on like this supreme level, man. I said, what? Sendek is an amazing coach. I said, amazing coach, my ass. I said, this dude, he was a great teacher of the game, but I would never talk that highly of Coach Sendek as a coach that some of the players did, but they did because they had that contrast to go up again. I had Sendek all 4 years, so I guess exactly. I was spoiled with one of the greatest teachers of basketball. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. He taught basketball. Now, he wasn't the best in other areas. He ain't got to be. He the head coach. That's why you got to staff. That's why I keep saying you got to get our Keats back. Now, if Keats is allowing this stuff to happen, then yeah, let's go at it. But if he wants better, if it's a staff, then okay, let's get him better. But if he don't want better,
then that's a problem. Yeah.
But anyway, going back to them, I can't say Wittenberg. I can't say Jules is like an X and O guy. I'm sure he's learned a lot. We got Justin Gainey and Levi Watkins for that, if you ask me, X's and O's. They've been putting it down in that area longer than Jules has. Jules had a professional basketball career.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right? They've been coaching while he's been playing. So let's be true to the game. I think Levi and Justin are good potential candidates to be involved. I think Rawson Turner is a good candidate to be involved. I think Will Roach, even though he's an OG, but I think he has some qualities. I think we need to surround the program with some of the people who really has a true care and alliance and like true like something like true skin in the game. We got to have something, some people there.
Yeah.
If you graduated from Clemson and you play Clemson, like I don't know where your heart is.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know if you're really gonna make the best decision for the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Now a chancellor is Cornell Purdue. I mean, I'm not trying to say that this needs to be, but you got to have a vision. You got to have purpose, and I think some of these roles as it relates to men's basketball, there is none. I know that for a fact, and everybody's just Bogart territory that they don't even own it. I mean, in 100 years we're all gonna be dead, man. What we doing?
Right.
So that's my approach.
Yep. No.
Answer your question. I don't have any idea right now for how I would Wittenberg and Myers.
Yeah.
I want to see them just. Yeah, it's a process to how we can go about our older grades.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because one of the things that obviously again right now Keats is getting looked at. I mean, I think you would even agree with the magnifying glass again. I mean, everybody's looking at his win losses, his his X's and O's, play calling at the end of the game, development of the players. And again, everybody's kind of torn. I think some are kind of more glass half full. Obviously, because obviously losing Virginia Tech was a tough loss for sure. But I mean, then again, yesterday we played Virginia, and the guys not only played great against a good defensive Virginia team, but also too, again, it just seemed like everything was clicking. Like everybody was just playing as was expected, and so you kind of saw, the potential ceiling of this team. And so, I mean, obviously, everything that you're working on right now, Cam, I know that again, it's not going to be something that's going to, take place overnight. It's going to take time, for players and alumni to buy in to this and get it enacted. But, looking at this team this year, and looking at Keats overall, how do you feel? How do you feel right now about having Kevin Keatts as the head coach of N.C. State men's basketball? I mean, do you feel confident enough that we can make some little bit of tweaks in the off season, or even right now, and he could be the right man to be at the helm for the next 5-10 years, maybe?
That's the question, isn't it? My God, that's very.
It's always the question. That's the thing,
Yeah, always.
I
So
want to say, first of all, I always put this disclaimer out.
yeah,
Coach Keith recruited me to Auburn. Okay, he's been in my home. I can show you guys footage. He's up under the basket while I'm like dunking, like. So I have a relationship with this man.
okay, awesome.
A real relationship. Yeah, it ain't just a Twitter thing or like nothing like that. The lack of discipline is what concerns me.
Okay,
We don't, even in C-Bron and TQ, as good as they are, they're not that damn good. To me,
I hear you.
to where I'ma just totally just let them just whatever.
Right,
They're not that damn good.
right,
But when you have to make decisions on how you're gonna get, you gotta let cats rock.
right.
You gotta let them go. You gotta let them showcase. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do this for various reasons to let other potential players know that, okay, and then you talk to them, play, yeah, coach gonna let you. All this stuff matters. But this isn't summer ball. This isn't AAU. Travel team ball. I don't like our lack of discipline. And I mean, come on, man. Let's look at the landscape. Why you think Roy and Coach K? Roy dropped out. He dropped out like a high school dropout, man. Like, he said, "To hell with this." And Coach K, I mean, he a bit more care in this, a little bit more of a tender situation. How he really talks about the players like they're his kids. Like when Coach K, Carolina got that machine going. I'm sure they got a constituency group somewhere, man. They're going to make their decisions. Bubba going to get the word, boom. That's it. But we're still trying to find our way. I like Coach's swag. I like his, the potential to be that guy. He does a lot of good things well. Mm-hmm. I just don't want him selling out to just the ways of college basketball right now and how the tail is almost wagging the dog in a lot of instances. I still feel like there needs to be some discipline, especially at that. That's the last level that you got to get your last bit of discipline in before you are free to be a pro. And I still feel like there needs to be some restriction there, and that's what I'm most bothered by. When I watch the games, I'm concerned about the staff because I know our bigs are not the best.
Yeah.
But I'll be damned. If you hit them rolling at the right time, they can dunk the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we can get at least 6 to 10 more points right there. Yeah. If our guards can make that pass now. Like, I know TQ can shoot that thing from half court, but can you make a skilled pass to the big when he's open? It's going to be very subtle and very quick, but can you get it there? It happens 4 times a game when you have the ball.
Yep.
I'm just saying, are we really being students of the game? Mm-hmm. Are we being true to the game? If you don't know how to be, let's get some guys around there who know how to be, and we'll show you how to instill this into the culture around here, where guys, instead of playing the video game another hour and a half, you're going to break that a little early, come get that video session in with somebody who can get you to understand. You got to break through baseline, you got to attack, and all guy got to sink baseline drift on that corner. That's where the shot is.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is for some people, this is life. Yep. For some people. For some people, other things is life.
Yeah. Well, and again, too, obviously, you look at, even like using, obviously, I know that one example that stands out to me, because again, I'm more of necessarily a football guy, but obviously like a Tom Brady, where literally, this guy, I mean, just he is a true student of the game. Now, I know this game is obviously football, not basketball, but just like every single time you talk, like you mentioned the word student of the game, I mean, that's the level I would hope that every single NC State basketball player, football player, every NC State athlete would strive towards. Now I know that's like, the peak of good living there, obviously having every player, behave like Tom Brady in terms of how much he studies and knows the game and knows it inside and out. Because again, too, because I think that also too, a lot of, if you were asking me, I would say a lot of it too comes down to the promises that, or the conversations which take place in these recruits' locker rooms when we're recruiting them. How much are we telling them, like, you're going to touch the ball this many times a game, like, you're going to, play this much per game, like, it should honestly for me come down to that. Listen, you're gonna have a chance if you come to state. You're gonna have a chance to compete for playing time. You're gonna have a chance to compete, against some of the best talents in the country in the ACC, and that's it. Again, at the end of the day, you want your name, your school's name, and you want our staff's name to speak for itself. You don't want, a guarantee of playing time or a guarantee of this to change that, because then there's a matter of, okay, well, if I, in this sense, may feel like, maybe we need to go to this player, but I made a promise that at this point it should go to this player, then that's not really a spot that you want your coaching staff to be in, so that's kind of my take on it, really. I mean, Cam, you have anything to kind of add on that a little bit?
I kind of like, I guess right there at the end, I was thinking about Cam, because I guess that's what he's going through, right? Like, he started out, he's our starting point. He loses that assignment. Now he's coming in. Oh my God! Now he's on the wane. Now Sebron's bringing it up. Mm-hmm. Now we actually have images of us being successful like this. Let's keep it like this.
Right.
This is great for the team, such as Cam. He needs to have the ball in his hands. He's going to be a point guard at the next level. Do or die, win or lose, he needs to stay at the point. But, Coach Keys, we got C. Brown and TQ. Mm-hmm. Cam ain't playing that well. We got decisions to make. Got to start. Oh, man, now Casey's making shots.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. See, for me, I talked to Cam then on my way down here. There's no way I would have no disrespect to Casey. You're not outplaying me, dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You ain't outplaying me. Ain't no way. And it's personal. Yeah, it is. Because now I'm third. I'm on the third leg now. Yeah, oh yeah, it's personal. And all this hoopla. I'm in my state. All this. Oh yeah, it's personal. Yeah, ain't outplaying me.
Yeah. What?
I mean, so.
Because Cam, one thing too. Let me add one thing too. Because one of the issues I have with the transfer portal the way it is it lets players a lot easier make the decision of, instead of saying, okay, like, this player's beating me out, let me compete and let me say, you ain't playing me. I'm getting my spot back. I'm getting my minutes back. Like, that ain't happening. It's more of like, okay, it's not working out. I'm going to transfer, and get out of here, and go play somewhere next year, and there's no real, there's nothing really bad, really bad that really can come out of it. Because then you're playing next year for somebody else. You don't have to sit out a year like you used to. So that's kind of one of my biggest issues with the way it's set up right now. Is it just go ahead.
But something that you said a minute ago that I didn't touch on. One of my favorite stories is on my recruiting trip. I'm in the RBC. I walk in the locker room.
Okay.
I went number 24 in high school. Predates that Kobe stuff. I've been more 24. So, boom. Come in, 24, Bennerman, wow. Mm-hmm. Come out the locker room. Have you been in the locker room? You guys been back there and everything?
Yes, I have. Michael, have you?
Not at PNC. I've been at
the center. We got it, man. Listen, man. We got that's what I'm talking about. We got to get together a group of guys who, if you ain't been, we got to put together a group, and I need to lead everybody on a damn tour through there. Anyway,
there you go.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
So, So everything's on a hallway. We
Right.
got the front door that goes into the coach's little office section, and that's the desk and everything. But when you make that left, that's what enters you into everything. You got the shower, bathroom to your right. You keep going. You got the pictures on the left. You got the main locker room. You go through and all that kind of stuff. So as we exited the main locker room from seeing all this Cam Bennerman 24 shit, I come out the locker room, and I'm standing there. I'm feeling good. This is before the red and white game, by the way.
Okay.
Julius, sophomore Julius, buttoning it up. He has 24 on. I'm like, you got my number on. He said, this is my number.
Mm-hmm.
And just kept it moving. So right then it's like, so guys, what I'm saying is there's a lot of lying going on. There's a lot of miscommunication, misinterpretation. Now I'm there. We practiced the first week. I'm sitting down. I'm being asked to red shirt. I'm being asked to do something. We're off script. You know what I'm saying? This is not a part of the conversation. This is not a part of the plan. And now we got to start being political. Oh, Benjamin's red shirted because, he doesn't know the offense. See, that's what they tell the fans.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody know I know the offense better. Come on, man. You say how meticulous I am and how detailed I am about everything. You think I ain't know that person offense at the back of my hand?
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to say whatever they need to create the image that they need to create to do whatever they want to do. Mm-hmm. I said, no. Next thing you know, people start getting hurt. Next thing you know, Mike O'Donnell, I'm being over recruited. Tony, all these people they're tearing hamstrings trying to keep up with me because it wasn't meant to be. So just going back to it, I just think when it needs to be a level of honesty and transparency in the recruiting process.
Absolutely.
I go back to that Kentucky year a few years ago. It was horrendous. But man, Calipari had those boys behind them. They was out there hooping. They was out there playing hard for the university. They're playing hard for their coach. Win or lose, we got a job to do, and we're gonna keep building stable ladders of the future. It's having this mentality, and that's just where we're at, guys. You know what I'm saying? With it, you know what I'm saying? I feel like you said, the portal and this and that, guys got to be held accountable. Transferring and all that stuff was never a part of my thought process. Me and Cam were just talking about this on the way down. We run the losing guys if certain things don't matter to us, if we don't have the right criteria.
Mm-hmm. As simple as that. Yeah. And yeah, Cam, again, I first of all, I love the passion. I think that's has been said 100 times in the comments that, again, love the passion coming from you on this. I think that all state fans 100% agree from listening to you that, again, we have such great tradition here in NC State, and we need to daggone sure take full advantage of it, because at the end of the day, it's all benefit to us, and for the future generations. So Cam, unfortunately, we're kind of running into a little bit of, eventually we got to end this awesome conversation. So, but I did want to end it first before, I know, right? I did want to end it first before giving you an opportunity, Cam, to give our listeners, State fans, an opportunity to kind of know where to check you out at, where to learn more about Architects of the Game, and all that jazz.
I got a lot of people on my trail. They're trying to figure out what we're trying to do. They're trying to figure out what we're up to. So I'm having to be real weird about how we unveil our ideas and products and stuff.
Okay.
The newsletter is very important for what we're trying to do. That's how we plan to really keep our fans or followers up to date on what we really have going on real time. Architectsofthegame.com is the website.
Okay.
You can spell it out. That's great. I hope you can. Architectsofthegame.com is the website. And we actually have a shop link up, shop.architectsofthegame.com. I have that private now. We have a password on that. Yeah, I wanna have this not private in a sense that it's not accessible,
Right.
but this is something special, and I know it, and I want it to be presented as such also.
Absolutely.
So the newsletter is important. My Twitter is Cam. Then I got the 13 as the B.
Yeah.
Enemy. That's my Twitter. Instagram is ASAP CXM. Um, Facebook, yeah, it's just Cam Bennerman. You can find me on there.
Yep.
But yeah, guys, I mean, it's just taking a creative approach to everything, remaining inspired, staying true to identity, and just bringing the fun back to our lives. You know, this brand new, this product, and that's what we're trying to do.
Absolutely, Cam. Well, hey, I want to first of all, again, thank you so much again for your time. Thank you so much for all you're doing, and thank you again, just again for the passion, man. And again, we love it, and you know, I know all state fans appreciate it. I know I can speak easily for all of them and say that 100%.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate you, man, and hey, and we thank you for doing what you're doing and providing a platform for these things to happen. This is important.
trying to again, hey, at the end of the day, you know, one of the things with Tuffy Talk is we always say that every single day is a great day to be an NC State fan. At the end of the day, there's still so much good things going on, you know, that, you know, every day every state fan should be proud to be an NC State fan. So I see a lot of people in the chat already, Cam, saying they'll give you a follow. So you know, definitely again, you know, if there's anything else we can do to help, please feel free to reach out to us, Cam. But again, thank you all so much again for your time. Please make sure, again, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Again, it really helps support us, and make sure you don't miss out on any of our new content. We're doing our Pac-9 previews here starting this coming week. If you haven't checked out interviews with Brian Brown, former state pitcher, make sure you check those out as well. And give us a follow, Tuffy Talk Now on Twitter or Instagram. But thank you all so much for your time. As always, hey, go Pack, y'all. We'll see y'all soon.